All right, here we are doing some more drawing. It's voiceover time. So, this is something that was inspired by, or motivated by, or instigated by watching the movie trailers for the Transformers 1 movie. I saw it on YouTube, kind of came up in my feed, and it looked interesting. I haven't seen it. I started watching clip after clip of the movie to get some insight as to what was going on there. I have not seen many of the Transformers movies, and definitely none of the Michael Bay ones. But I mean, that's not necessarily because I don't like them or whatever. I just don't usually get to the movie theater or watch stuff. Sit still long enough to watch things. Um, but what'll happen is it'll be on in at somebody's house in the background, and I'll just think to myself, hey, I really wanted to see that movie, even though it's 10 years later, and I'll finally sit down and watch it. Anyway, I was watching the trailers or the clips from that movie, and I kind of wanted to see it. Um, well, it's still at the theater, so maybe I will force myself to go. And I love the robots, the scenery, the visuals, and I started digging around in Google Images and looking at old artwork or all of the artwork, developmental sketches and drawings from whatever Google Images would kick back Transformers related. And of course, it's going to go back in time since the beginning of wherever it can find images from, and just the freewheeling designs and the colors. It probably was meant to appeal to children, but it appealed to me as well, I guess. Caught my eye with the childish use of color, but I love the designs, man. It's just a lot of fun, and I guess that's the whole point. Is if it's not fun, I'm not gonna bother with it because I got enough drudgery. I got enough to deal with that is not fun. But that's what I kind of am up to here, and I ended up watching the old 1986 Transformers movie. That was actually pretty cool. I did see it a long, long time ago. It's been a long time since I did see it. And I forgot all the big names that were in that movie. Yeah, was that Unicron? Unicron was Orson Welles, Eric Idle from what was he? Monty Python. Eric Idle, right? Leonard Nimoy, Mr. Spock was Megatron, or was he? Was he? I don't know if he was voicing it while he was Megatron, but he gets converted to a Galvatron, and it was definitely Leonard Nimoy. Judd Nelson. I don't know what he's doing these days. Kind of fell off the map. Not like I would know anyway. But I like the idea of putting mustaches and beards on the robots. They had those motorcycle guys with the thin mustaches, and then Unicron with his beard. And did Unicron have a mustache or a beard? I don't know. Feel free to correct me. I'm often wrong. Alright. So I just kind of had fun, and I'm going to take this as far as I can before I start getting bored and put it away. But I do think this might be fun to color, to do some computer coloring with it. And I was thinking kind of like a giant, mysterious, not necessarily a hero character, but like a monstrosity or a quizzical mystery of a machine or of a robot that you go see to talk to get the secrets, you know what I mean? So he's the oracle who talks with many heads or many mouths, and he's got the answers to the mystery of the universe, and speaks in riddles. Just going along, having fun. almost done cleaning up the yard. I had I think it was about 65-foot tree down that came close to the house. Thankfully, very grateful it did not, but I think that tree had 75 to 80% more branches than your typical tree. It was a white oak, and the branches were real knotted and twisted and tied together, so you couldn't just cut off a branch without having to cut off 30 other branches that it was interwoven with. And oh boy, was it full of spiders and getting poked and scratched and bleeding all over the place. Much respect to those people who do it professionally. Tree service, tree removal. Those guys have been busy lately, that's for sure. I'm working on some more 3D printing projects at the moment. I want to try to finish one up that I have in play now. I'm trying to create a tiny little ST's rocket, something that'll fire off one of the smaller A-size motors. So if you're not familiar with those model rockets, they have different models, rock engine sizes for different performance, whatever you're looking for, and different rockets will be sized differently to fit these motors. But this is going to be the smallest motor available, and I'm thinking kind of like a fire and forget sort of model that you just print in mass, light them up, and if it tumbles down and you can recover it, you can use it again. If it flies off into the woods, you're not going to lose any sleep over the awesome model that you just built for the past 3 weeks and lost it, like we used to do all the time. Was the first little one I had was called the Mosquito. I hated that thing because it was what my dad would buy for me or my grandfather would buy for me, because all the other ones were too complicated, and even though they were way cooler, I was too stupid apparently to be able to put them together and handle it like a man. So I got stuck with the Mosquito. So that's what I'm trying to build it. It was called it didn't have a streamer, it didn't have a parachute. They just flat out called it tumble recovery. And that's what these things will do. I'll see if I can capture that on the video when I'll give it a test launch. Thinking about the different things that you had to worry about when you're building those model rockets was the center of gravity. I think I have to look it up before I fly it, but I think you have to have the nose cone full of weight, or the nose had to be heavier from balancing it in the midpoint. Else, if it was heavier past that midpoint, it would be super unstable and just kind of squiggle around the air and swerve around and sometimes fly back at you. Right. Just got to put a human in there for scale and dimension. And this unfortunate human is not having the best day, because maybe this Oracle robot needs to feed off human life force. Doesn't use energon. It What is this stuff? It runs on Loosh. It's powered by Loosh. Squeeze it out of you. I don't know if you're paying attention. You might have caught that little flashback. The video went back a couple of seconds for a couple of seconds. Oopsie. I do watch these and rewatch it a couple of times before I do the final voiceover, just to make sure it's not completely hosed up. Every so often something gets by you. If I didn't say anything, maybe nobody would notice. I think we're getting close to wrapping this one up. I think all in all, this one may have taken, I don't know, 2.5 hours over a couple different sit-down sessions. I noticed I can more and more do this the longer I can sit and just veg out and do this. My stamina for it is increasing. But I always get antsy and have to bounce after too long. And there we go. Thank you, everybody, if you stuck around this long. I really appreciate it. And thanks for all the people who have been hitting that subscribe button lately. You have no idea how cool that is. I really appreciate it. Talk to you later.